Well, I don't think they are optimistic, honestly, provided, and they are broadly in line with the consensus, provided that we, of course, take into account what we call the downside risks that could always happen. And there is, in my view, very personal view, a big uncertainty on the how and when the propensity to consumption will regain strength in the EU economies. What I am frequently looking to is the figure of the saving rates, and the fact that this figure is not sufficiently moving in some countries, despite the increase of wages and the fact that purchasing power is recovering, still not yet completely, but recovering. This is, I think, a matter of uncertainty on a forecast that overall is confirming our spring forecast, and I think in a very solid way. Indeed, as you said, Paula, the cut-off date, but it's not only the cut-off date. It's the cut-off date was a few days before the American elections, but I think should have had a cut-off day at the end of January next year to have serious elements to consider in changes of US policies. So, of course, we know that this is a possible scenario. We are discussing it. In my view, it is obvious that this scenario could have repercussions in countries, especially countries, you know that the two countries with a higher surplus towards US in trade are Germany and Italy. And this is partially, of course, also connecting with difficulties in manufactures that we are looking in some countries, despite the fact that these two countries have, as you know, different level of forecasted growth. So there is a potential impact, especially in some countries, but there is also a large debate I see in America about the potential impact in the United States. Could a tariffs policy towards Europe re-trigger inflation process? This is also a big question that in America is under discussion. But we are not more precise, I would say, not so much for a reason linked to our cut-off date, but to the fact that there is a transition period and decision from Washington will come in January, February, and not in these days.
I'll take one more question here. Yes, and then I'll go to online.